Do any of you remember when on Survivor Game Changers, during the first Tribal Council of the finale, when Cirie Fields was eliminated simply because she didn't have an advantage or an immunity idol? And she became, I believe, the first player to ever make it late into a game without having a single vote casted against her to be eliminated, not including fire challenges or medevacs. I believe she's the first player to ever be eliminated, aside from medevacs and fire-making challenges, to make it that late into a game without receiving a vote against her. She was the first one eliminated, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But yeah, this kind of felt like that. Anyway, what's going on, everyone? My name is the California Cougar, and yeah, I originally wasn't gonna talk about Survivor 41 again after the cast assessment until the review, but I need to talk about this twist and what is quite possibly the worst Survivor twist I've ever seen on the show. I mean, I've seen some bad twists on this show from over its 20-year span. I've seen some really bad twists. We had another twist in Game Changers where one tribe won immunity, the other two tribes go to Tribal Council together, vote off one person. I've always hated that twist. We had the Outcast twist. That was pretty bad. Redemption Island was a twist that didn't work out. Edge of Extinction, another twist that didn't really quite work out. And even this season, we've had two twists. Well, one of them was more of an advantage than a twist, but Knowledge of Power, or Knowledge is Power. Yeah, that was a cheap little advantage. Basically rewards players who don't really do a whole lot of work. They go to an island, go on a trek, and then either protect or risk their vote. And they get this advantage that can allow them to steal immunity idols without even looking. So basically they can get an idol without even looking for one. Yeah, that was kind of cheap. There was also another one this season where one player gets exiled simply because they don't end up on a team, and that player gets to choose whether or not to reverse the results of a challenge, basically. I'm going to address more of that in my review. But then we got the Do or Die twist, quite possibly the worst twist I think I've ever seen on this show. And that's saying a lot because, again, there have been some horrible twists on this show. There have been some horrible twists on this show. But oh my god. This is just, Survivor really jumped the shark with this one. That's going to be the title of the video. Survivor has jumped the shark. And it's ridiculous. This game is bringing way too many luck elements into it, rather than just focusing on strategy. And I know there have been some seasons where players relied on some luck, but for the most part, it's about strategy, about social abilities, physical capabilities. That's what Survivor is. Outwit, outplay, outlast. Outluck is not anywhere in that. I mean, I guess you could kind of put that in the outlast section, but you have to outwit and outplay in order to outlast. This twist completely ruins that. And honestly, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but Jeff Probst, his time might be coming near an end. It really might be. And I'm going to talk about why this twist is so bad in this video. Okay, so first of all, spoilers for the previous episode of Survivor, which came out on Wednesday. It's Saturday now, so if you haven't watched that episode yet, I highly recommend you go watch that episode first, and then come back to this video. But anyway, let's talk about it. So, basically what this twist is it's called the Do or Die twist. So the contestants arrive at the immunity challenge, right? They arrive at the immunity challenge. And Jeff Probst introduces this twist. Basically, what it is the first person to drop out of the immunity challenge, because of course it's an endurance challenge, because that's all Survivor can come up with for post-merge challenges these days. But it's an endurance challenge, and basically it's the one where you have to like, it was the final 3 challenge of Micronesia, where you have to like hold, you have like these 2 handles, you have to hold like a bunch of blocks together and balance a ball on those blocks. Yeah, it was the final immunity challenge of Micronesia, the Survivor Philippines as well. But yeah, it's this challenge, and basically the first person to lose this challenge has to face the do or die twist. What the do or die twist is basically the person facing it has to choose one of 3 boxes. One of the boxes has fire in it. The other 2 have skulls. After picking a box, Jeff Probst reveals one of the other 2 boxes, which is of course going to be a skull, because Jeff knows where the fire is. So yeah, it's going to be a skull, and then he gives the player the option to switch boxes after that. So it's basically a 50-50 chance, or something like that. It's the Monty Hall effect. A lot of people say it's 2 and 3. I don't really understand that math, but that's just me. I've never really, I've been a math person. I don't really understand that math. To me, it's just a 50-50 chance, basically. So, a coin flip on whether you stay in the game or not. And then, if you choose the fire, you stay in the game. If you choose the skull, you're out of the game, basically. So, you could go home without being voted out here. So, that's the twist. And what happened was Deshaun, one of the players this season, he dropped out of the challenge first, so he had to face this twist. He ended up picking the fire, and so he survived the twist, basically. So yeah, that was the twist. I'm going to tell you right now, production, you are so lucky that A, it was Deshaun that ended up having to face this twist, and I'll get into that. And B, he survived the twist. They are so lucky. Otherwise, there would be a lot more outrage from fans. Okay, so 1, Deshaun facing this twist. Okay, the plan was to vote Deshaun out that night. I believe Ricard, Xander, Erica, and Heather were all plotting against him. Liana was going to get on board with that as well, I think. And then Deshaun and Danny were just kind of on the outs. They would have no idea what's happening. But yeah, with Ricard, Xander, Erica, and Heather, along with Liana, they could easily split the votes and get Deshaun out of the game. That was the plan. So, in a sense, the twist actually kind of saved him, because they could no longer vote him out if he survived. They would have had to vote somebody else out. So it essentially saved him. But what if Danny had been the first one out? He ended up winning the immunity challenge, but what if Danny had been the first one out of the challenge? A guy that was very likable by the entire cast. Very likable. A lot of people were rooting for him. They had a lot of good things to say about him in the exit interviews. He's a good guy. He's a professional athlete, but he's not over cocky or anything like that. He's a good guy. I like Danny a lot. He's one of my favorites this season. I've always been a fan of him since the beginning of the game. But yeah, we haven't really seen a whole lot from him, at least not until this episode. We got a lot of personal content from him this episode, but imagine, especially with the personal content he got about his dad and how his dad was killed in a car accident, how Danny was mad at him his whole life, and then essentially him moving on from that finally. I thought that was fantastic. Imagine if Danny's the one facing this twist after that, and he doesn't survive. You know what I mean? Just imagine the outrage from Survivor fans if that had happened. Or what if Xander had to face it, you know? Somebody like Xander, also not really in a lot of danger of going home, especially since he has an immunity idol. This twist, this twist makes it so that you can't save yourself with an immunity idol. So it doesn't matter if you have one. If you pick the skull, you're out. You have an idol, you're leaving with that idol in your pocket. So imagine if Xander had gotten it, and he goes home with an idol in his pocket, even though no one had any intention of voting him out that night. There would have been a lot of outrage about that. Or even if Heather or Erica had to face it. Neither of them were really in much danger of going home. So, yeah. They're lucky Deshawn was the one that faced it. But still, it's super cheap. It's super unfair. I mean, it's basically you get punished for participating in an immunity challenge. And I can't believe Liana didn't participate in it because she had to know she was in trouble, especially if Deshawn ended up winning. She had to know she was in trouble. So it's a little bit surprising that she didn't end up facing it. But yeah, like, imagine if you're someone who's in trouble and then you're the first one out of the immunity challenge and you have to face it. It's unfair, it's cheap, it's not good for the game. It takes away the entire purpose of strategizing, scheming, outwitting, outplaying, all that. It takes away everything that outwit, outplay, outlast stands for. Which brings me to my next point. We're lucky Deshawn survived it, because if he had gone home, because it was Deshawn, it probably wouldn't have had much effect. But again, imagine if it were somebody else, like Danny or Xander, or even Erica or Heather. I mean, no one really cares about Heather because she's invisible this season, but still, to go out because of a stupid-ass twist like that, it's just unfair, and it pretty much shows that production has really jumped the shark. With this and Erica's little hourglass twist where she could reverse the results of a challenge, they're not fair, they're cheap, and they should never be brought on Survivor again. Of course, given that season 41 and 42 were both filmed back-to-back, I have a feeling this twist is going to come back next season, which really sucks, but it's just what we have to face. So yeah, things like this are just ruining Survivor. They really are. They're ruining Survivor. This season, I'm not going to give my full thoughts on it. I'll save that for the review, but let's just say that this twist will definitely have an effect on how I feel about this season. For sure. Even though Deshawn survived it. So yeah, that's all I really have to say. The do or die twist is stupid. Survivor has jumped the shark with this. They're going so over the top with twists and advantages and all that. Again, it's like I said about Cirie at the beginning of the video. Cirie was screwed because she didn't have an advantage. Deshawn nearly got screwed because he didn't have an advantage, but he was simply because he was the first one out of a challenge. We've never seen that before. We've never seen that we've never seen that before. Usually if you're the first one out of a challenge, some people might see that as, oh, this person's not a threat, let's keep them around. So in a sense, it could be used as kind of a strategy in a way. I mean, it was used by Eddie in Survivor Caramoan, so yeah, there's that, but yeah, I hate this twist. I hate this twist. I hate the direction Survivor's going. I hope it doesn't keep going this way. Jeff Probst is too power hungry, and he likes good TV. I don't care about good TV. I'm here to watch Survivor, okay? I'm here to watch a game. I'm here to watch strategy. I'm here to watch people finding idols. I'm here to watch challenges. I'm here to watch people outplaying other people. I'm here to watch blind sides, all that good stuff. I'm not here to watch somebody get screwed over by a stupid twist. I don't care that they understood the potential consequences of being first out of the challenge. I don't care about that. Okay? Because again, that's never happened before in Survivor. Sure, this twist was historical, but that doesn't mean it's good. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about this twist. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for more content to come in the future. And until the next video, once again, my name is the California Cougar. And always remember, stay California cool. Peace!